Hello and welcome to the Franchise Tag Overtime. I'm Gareth Smith, and today I'm joined by Orlando Guardians star wide receiver Eli Rogers. How you doing, Eli?
Man, I'm awesome. Blessed. How are you?
I'm very good. No, thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate your time today. It's a little bit crazy over there at the moment with the weather. Who would have had the training being called off due to snowstorms on the bingo card or whatever it's called? But how are you using this time that you've been given when you're not training at the moment?
Man, I'm just, doing more studying on film. I actually just finished doing a pool workout.
Okay.
I'm a guy who works around the clock. So me and a few guys, Cody Latimer and uh Andrew Jamil, we got in the pool, did some exercises, kept the mobility going, and
Yeah.
yeah, you just gotta maximize the time, the best we can. It's unfortunate the snow came. It's ice out there on the street, so like,
Yeah.
it's different. It's unfortunate.
And no, it is. It's really unusual. And obviously, you mentioned a few guys there. It sounds like you start to build those relationships up with your fellow wide receivers and tight ends. I
Yeah.
think one thing that Orlando did do very well in the draft and the supplement draft is selecting a really good bunch of talented guys with good hands. How are you finding those relationships being built with you and your fellow wide receivers at the moment?
Oh man, it's coming along great. I think Coach Lamar Thomas does a great job at making the room comfortable for everyone, and setting the expectations on um, uh, how we're going to go about our business. And everybody in the room is great guys. You know, we talk to each other daily. We meet daily. Even go out eat with each other daily. So it's coming along great.
No, that's good to hear. And obviously, yourself was one of the names that really jumped out to us British fans because we don't get, unfortunately, the likes of the USFL or much of the college, but your experience in the NFL
Mhm.
particularly jumped out. You and Cody Lattimore, particularly, were two names that instantly recognisable in that wide receiver core. How do you find your experience of the NFL is going to help there in the Orlando Guardians with your fellow wide receivers, but also for the team?
Well, like you said, we have some experience. Cody is a, Super Bowl champion, and
Yeah.
I've made it to the conference championship, AFC championship. Made a lot of plays, scored touchdowns, and
Mm.
really have a good understanding of the game. So just that experience alone, we could share that knowledge with the rest of the receiving core, and you know, um, really teach them what it takes to make it to that next level.
Yeah, and I think obviously, as you mentioned, the experience that you both have as you had end of the day probably one of the best coaches in the NFL in Mike head coach in Mike Tomlin, who was there as your head coach. Um, have you found that how the development that you had? How do you think that sets you up in the XFL this year? The development you had under his excellent tutelage.
Yes, Mike Tomlin is amazing guy, great
Mm.
coach. You know, his example was definitely a great starting point for me as an athlete and moving forward. As a man and how he handles certain situations. It's
Mm.
just admirable. Yeah.
And so obviously now you've got um, Terrell Buckley as coach at the moment. How's his style? How are you finding learning off him?
Terrell, he's about coming out and being consistent every day. Um, being the same guy every day. Um, his philosophy is smart, fast, and fearless. So you have to play smart, know your assignment, your alignment, and play fast, uh, and play fearless. So his approach to the game is definitely a is something that is I think is really important as an athlete. What he's teaching me, what he's teaching the team, uh, I think we're really building like a championship team. And his example of what he said every day.
And obviously, the quarterback room has had some changes to it in the last few days or so. Um, DeAndre Francois, you got Paxton Lynch there now. How are you finding building relationships with these guys, the quarterbacks, who are in effect essential to making you get that ball?
Yeah. Um, well, just staying in practice, putting in extra hours, meeting outside of meetings, uh, just getting a fine tune of detail down on what they like as a quarterback, and within an offensive scheme, within the system, just knowing where to be at, knowing what angles to take, and what kind of quarterback I'm dealing with. Um, they both have huge arms.
Yeah,
Paxton just came in the other day, um, and he's looked great so far, given that he drove like 11 hours or something like that to Texas, and right out of the car he came in, threw some passes and completed passes
yeah,
against the Vipers. So that was really impressive. And DeAndre, he's a guy about his business. Uh, he we hang out, outside of football, and we just talk football. I mean, outside of the field and talk football. You know, very very knowledgeable quarterback. Uh, he's not a perfectionist, but he likes to, you know, get the
yeah.
detail down. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just building that relationship, and even Quentin, he's injured right now, but
Mhm.
we've connected on and off the field, and he's an amazing quarterback as well. And I can't wait till he get back healthy.
Yeah. It's interesting because I actually interviewed DeAndre not too long ago, and I found him an interesting guy. And you could just hear how he speaks, that it's all about every day being slightly better than the day before, avoiding the mistakes. And that mindset is a great mindset to have, and about always that continuous improvement. I think, obviously, with yourself, obviously, as being an experienced wide receiver, and you also, as you mentioned, Cody. Do you see yourself as one of the leaders in the wide receiver room that you've got?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you say, I have experience. I know what it takes to win. I know what it takes to be a good offense. You know,
Mm,
when we were together in Pittsburgh, it was a certain camaraderie. It was a certain togetherness, a certain way that we went about our business, and just having that experience is a blessing because now I could transfer that to this team, into the receiving core and the receiving group.
Previously, you were part of the XFL 2.0, as it likes to be known, and you were DC defender during that period. When they announced the XFL was coming back again, was
Mhm.
it always your intention to come back to the XFL?
Um, yes, it was. Um, I had a detour on. Um, I went into the fire academy last year and was on the verge of becoming a firefighter in Houston. And
Wow.
I one thing led to another, and I didn't pass uh, the medical exam to become a certified EMT. So 2 days later, well, during that whole time, football never left my mind. And
Can imagine.
when I heard that XFL was coming back, it was really exciting for me because it was unfortunate how it got cut short uh, because of the COVID.
Yeah.
We just I feel like the DC team just started to click, and I just started to get back in my groove.
And I'll be honest, I remember I was actually, ironically, in Orlando in 2020 on my way back watching XFL games, really enjoying it. And who have we got sneaking in?
This is Coach LT, my receiver
How are
coach.
we doing? um, but I was ironically watching the XFL in Orlando. And it was one of them where I was like, and then not long afterwards, obviously, COVID and the world kind of came to a close. How did you stay motivated during the time when there was literally no football? How did you stay motivated to continue and working out and staying healthy during that period?
Well, it was really tough, to be honest with you, because at the time I had lost my mother
Mm.
um, during the XFL. I had lost her February 5th, and it's a few days away right now. So it was really important for me to finish the sacrifice, the love, the commitment she had for me as a mother, that she exemplified. And the XFL is just so important to me because it happened during a time of
Mm.
a critical moment in my life. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why I'm so excited to get back because it ended like a game after she passed.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to get back into this league, and I'm thankful for the opportunity with Johnny Garcia and Dwayne the Rock Johnson. And I'm definitely going to make the best of it and put my best foot forward.
Because you actually, if I remember right as well, you had quite a good. It was quite a good game for yourself as well afterwards. Because where you were honouring her as well, you had quite a big game, if I remember rightly, the game afterwards as well. So you planning anything particular to honour your mum? Obviously, we're not far away from you say the 5th. You do
Mhm.
anything special to commemorate her?
Um, I'm not really, I'm not really a guy that's big on um,
Mm.
material things, um, but I'm definitely going to use that moment, that day, as I do others, but particularly that day to to sit and remember her. I have audios that we've recorded over the years, just talking as we fixed our defects, as we fixed our defects, and just remember her and remember why I play this game. Remember how
Mm.
I even got to playing this game, the passion, the drive that I have. It all came from her,
Yeah.
So and I have that passion back now.
No, and that's incredible to hear. And obviously, because I can guarantee she'll be a motivator for the remainder of your career. You mentioned obviously that you almost became a firefighter in Houston. How ironic is it that your opening game is in Houston against the
It,
Roughnecks? Uh,
that is
it's
mind
some
blowing.
parallel that.
That
uh,
is really mind blowing.
so, how excited are you to get get to that opening game? And what are you most looking forward to about getting on that field and playing a professional game again?
I'm really excited to play in Houston because one, my cadet class, my firefighter class, I want as many of them to come. We still keep in
Yeah,
contact, and they're really excited to see me play. So that's one thing I'm really excited about. And then two, I haven't played in a full game since 2020. So it'll
yeah.
be almost 3 years since I've touched the field on a global scale, with cameras and tons of fans watching. So and I believe that I'm a better player than I've ever been.
So one thing that Orlando has a massive advantage with, I think, is the international fan base. The fact that it's really easy for international fans to get in and out of the city of Orlando compared to some of the other cities like St. Louis, even DC, which you'd expect there to be a lot of flights too. Whereas, particularly from Britain, the easiest places to get to is going to be Vegas and Orlando.
Yes,
So,
sir.
how do you feel that Orlando can capitalize on us international fans and make it so that when we're in town, we have to get to a Guardians game?
Oh man, I feel great. Like, um, hopefully we could get like a event going for the international fans. When you guys get there, we can meet y'all and have some type of event. Um, but then, like you say, that's the travel board for the international fans. So I feel like we'll have an advantage on all the other teams because of that reason alone. Um, and also, what was the other part of the question? I forgot.
So the other part of that question was about how you can capitalize on and make it so that you become the must see attraction in Orlando. Which I know you got some competition with a mouse, but how do you become the must see attraction?
Oh, by just performing, by our performance alone is going to, attract the fans. I think that we have the best team in the XFL. It's yet to be seen, but what Coach Buckley is putting together right now, not only on the field but off the field, creating consistency and accountability for all us together as a whole is, I think we'll be the best. So that and the performance, and you guys are
Yeah,
traveling in and out of Orlando, so hopefully we could get like a meet and greet with the fans.
no, that'd be incredible. And the one thing that I think particularly the XFL has done quite well is the uniforms that has been selected, having Under Armour to develop the choice of uniforms you've had. How would you feel wearing the Orlando Guardians uniform, and what do you think of it?
Um, I feel honored, and I think they're pretty cool. The neon green, or what
Yeah,
I forget the actual green that they call it, and then the other green with the gray is
it's
fly.
good. It's good.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited to wear it, and I'm excited to look good in it.
And your first home game is going to be on the 26th of February, so not far away. It'll soon be here against the San Antonio Brahmas, which, as a team name, I thought was quite interesting, with that being The Rock's nickname in
Yeah.
WWE back in the day. Um, how excited are you going to be to get on that field and seeing your Guardian fans cheering you on?
And I can't wait. I know we need to pack the house out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be packed. Uh, International fans in the states. It's going to be an exciting energy out there. Um, and we're going to come to perform and put on a show. So can't wait, man. I can't wait. Can't wait to meet the fan base. Um, man, but we got to start one game at a time, and that starts on the 18th.
And the interesting is being in the state of Florida, which is well known for its football knowledge. You've got, so I think that comes with additional, um, some say pressures, but also I say opportunities. How do you think Orlando can capitalize on the fact that Orlando itself and Florida itself is such a knowledgeable football state to, as you say, pack out the stands?
Yeah, Florida is the mecca of football. I like to say, or we like to say, in down in Miami. Uh, and Orlando is 3 hours away from Miami. We got guys on the team. DeAndre is from Miami. Uh, a lot of guys are from Florida, parts of Florida. So you know, I think the energy is just going to be different in the stadium. You know, it's a different type of energy in Miami, and I mean in Florida alone, as far as football is concerned. So, you know, I think our energy is going to be a little bit different.
And you've also got somewhat nicer weather than what you currently have to deal with there in Arlington as well. Sunshine State and all that. So XFL tickets are on sale right now. You can find them at xfl.com/tickets. Make sure you go and check Eli out and the rest of the Guardians. Support them on and drive them on to victory. But all I can say now is thank you, Eli, for your time. It's been an absolute honour. Love to get you on again as the season progresses. Has been an absolute honour, and hopefully speak to you again soon.
Stand guard.
Stand guard. And
the honor as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for listening today. And make sure you check out our latest episodes coming up very soon. I'll speak to you again soon with another very special guest.